One of the questions that I thought was intriguing was the environment. And I see the environment that I'm influenced by as both the outdoor environment that I happen to embrace with my children quite regularly, but also the city environment and the people that I connect with. But I think the most important environment that I try to let filter in is social issues, and throughout time and then the present. And so all those kind of come together with the way that I think when I go to embrace a new project. Just recently, I did some sketches of some new pieces that I wanted to try to do. One of our son's Boy Scout brothers passed away, took his own life by accident. And when I read the story that the father had written, and it was in the newspaper both and in an email, it really took me back. And I inadvertently just put myself into his position about what that would be like to me, how it would affect me if my son passed away at an early age through an accident. And then I thought about all the failures that I've had as a parent and as an artist and as a person. And I thought about not the successes. And so this whole sense of despair. So I kind of put myself in the role of being that person. And then just kind of fluid as a mindset. And then did 3 different versions of what I wanted to try to do. And all 3 were the young man or the older man standing in water about waist deep. And one of them was in complete desolation, just crushed by the whole environment, the whole idea. And the other one was kind of looking up in praise and being thankful that they're now in a safe place. And then the other one was almost as if the body was submerged, as if it's up to its face, as if it can't breathe. So there were 3 different interpretations in there, 3 stories, narratives, that were just a reaction to something that happened, not to me, but to someone else. But I don't know, as an artist, one of the things that I feel that what I do is I filter things. And many artists do. They see things that happens in their own family, or they read about things in the daily newspaper that happens, or they experience things, and sometimes experience things through other people, and then they create from that. And I think that's a real life way of thinking and working. It's not art about art. It's art about life.
You had mentioned about these studies, and they really did feel like they were part of an environment. I mean, the water was a critical part of it.
Yeah.
What? Explain a little bit more. I mean, you're a sculptor, so you use a lot of material. What does material mean to you? What does material mean?
One of the things I've tried to embrace over the last 40 years is to learn new ways of thinking and working. And what's driven that has been the idea. And so I keep evolving in terms of my imagery. I keep evolving in terms of the materials that I choose, and keep considering why this material would be better than the other. So in this idea, I thought naturally that with the figures it would be to create it in bronze. It just seemed to be it's a timeless material that holds up for millennium. So I think at a small scale, it doesn't have to be large. And I think part of that grew out of my experience in November seeing the Burghers of Calais at the Hirshhorn Museum in Washington, D.C., and seeing the anguish and the pain and the suffering in their faces, in their 7 different faces. So it's pretty amazing.